Hello and welcome. I am Sarah Lockett and I am the host of this live stream as well as the awards ceremony on this Thursday evening. So this is the third annual MiraBan UK Film Awards. So don't forget that all finalists' films are now available streaming on the MiraBan website, which is miraban.com, and you can watch them. And then from midnight tonight UK time, you can vote for your favourite, and that will be the Best Film Audience Award. So do go onto the Facebook page, which is London Film Events. Join that group, that Facebook group, and then you'll be able to vote for your favourites. And don't forget too, if you're one of our finalist directors or producers, that you can take part in our networking events every afternoon this week. Tuesday and Wednesday we've got left, where you can just meet each other and network kind of thing. So in this session we are talking about a film script, and so it's not been made into a film yet, and the script is Sonoran Saints. I hope I'm saying that correctly. And we have with us one of the co-writers, who is John Joseph, or Jack Sollecito. Is that how you say it? Sollecito? Sollecito?
Very good. That's the Italian. That's the Italian accent. Yes. In America, they say Sollecito. Sollecito. Yep.
Sollecito. Okay, one or the other. And we also have the juror in this category joining us at the moment, who is Luca Paci. Hello to you.
Hi.
Okay, so if I can start with the first question. I mean, just for people who haven't read it, what's it about?
It is loosely based on my time as a kid. I was sent to an all-male Catholic military academy in upstate New York, and it is based on basically the environment of today and the traditions of the Catholic military academy coming in conflict with each other, and the students that have to deal with all of the different things of, oh my gosh, you got me stumped today.
I mean, there's quite a lot of testosterone and aggression going around between the students, isn't there?
Yes, it's one of my friends said it's Taps with Tom Cruise meets Lord of the, and there's a lot of jockeying for position and finding themselves, with Jacob and Easton trying to find themselves as brothers, and Jacob trying to find himself with what's going on with him, as well as being in a Catholic military environment. Yeah, I don't know if I said that well enough.
Oh, I think, Sarah, we have you on mute for a moment. I don't know why. Okay.
Sorry about that. No, I was just going to say Catholicism and the military is sort of an odd combination, isn't it? But I was going to say to Luca, what did you think of it, and what would you like to ask?
Well, I really liked, being a Catholic boy as well. I really relate to that kind of environment. You captured really well the two, the two souls of, and the similarity and contrast between the two worlds. So I like that. I also liked the suggestions you make about the two institutions, how similar they are, but also the sort of like a conflict that they bring together.
Right.
And I suppose you're thinking there's the need to conform. Everyone has to believe. In the military, you have to believe, what you're being told and not question it. That's how it works, isn't it? And the same in religion, would you say?
To me, yes, and the same in Catholicism. They do have that similar feature of you have to follow the rules, and if you follow the rules, you're rewarded at the end. And then also you have the society, and like Jacob believing in his something that goes against that, but is totally right for him, and him trying to find himself within the rules, and other people, and Kish trying to find himself within the rules, but completely going off the deep end.
Kish has got some issues, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's got some other issues going on. And what, Jay, what did you think of it, and what would you like to maybe ask?
I'm actually curious about the co-writing experience, because writing is such a personal way to put yourself out there, and the co-writing is always, I believe, a great challenge. So can you tell us how the process works with the two of you?
Sure. Yes. Jeff and I are pretty much like brothers, even before we started this endeavor. And he went to UCLA Film School for writing. And one day he came, I was telling him about my childhood. And he goes, "That's a story. You need to write everything you can about the characters and Sarge and how we came up with that." The story arc kind of came later. And then I wrote a scene and I would send it to him, and then he would write a scene and come back, and then he would take some blank pages and write something. And it took like 6 or 7 years to really hone in on this, and going back and forth. And no, I didn't want that. And there were times we wanted to kill each other. And this has to stay, and it absolutely has to stay. But then over time, we back up and go, "Oh, you're right. That's right for the story, or that's right for the story, or that's wrong." You know, it just. But since we were so close, like brothers, in the end, we knew we weren't going to be killing each other. Like, we were going to be brothers at the end of this, if that makes sense. So
Do you think it kind of strengthened the bond that there was there between the two of you?
I would. We were already pretty close, so I would say yes. I would say yes, but in our, you know, like, he's like an uncle to my kids, and so, you know, put it to you this way: that bond didn't rip us apart when we were writing, but I can see how writing with somebody could definitely come between friendship.
Yeah, if someone's too holding on too tight to their vision and won't let other ideas in.
And yeah, their vision, and also sometimes that's not right for the story, and being able to step back and go, "You're right, this is too," you know, there was a saying that we used to say while we were writing was, going through, especially this is close to my life, if it's like driving a car next to a well-grooved road. If you put the tires in the grooves of the road, there's no place to go left or right, you know, so it's easier to drive next to the grooves of the road and look down upon it. And sometimes it was me who had the tires in the grooves of the road, and I couldn't turn, I couldn't go where the story needs to go. Sometimes it was him, because there was a lot of him in this story. A lot of people. Paul Kish was actually kind of manifested from somebody he knows, and all that dialogue was Jeff for Kish. Kish was all Jeff. So,
Really?
Yeah.
And actually, I was thinking, as a script, it's all the sort of camera instructions are already in there. You visually see it, don't you, as you read it? That you're seeing this shot, the person comes into view, and they walk that way. And is that normal to have those very precise instructions at this stage?
You know, it's funny you say that. We discussed that, because some are very sparse scripts, and some are, and the way we write both are very visual. I picture it in my head and then write down what I see, and he's even more depict than I am. In fact, that opening scene where they were running in through the desert, I was kind of sparse on that, and he added a lot of the details to that.
So I was thinking, how are you going to do that on the day? The dog does exactly this. He looks a bit quizzical. He takes one step. You know, how are you going to get the dog to do that?
Oh, actually, I know out here, I know a person who does all the animal work for This Is Us and Modern Family, and a whole bunch of, a dog with a blog. That's what he does for a living. It's Hollywood Dogs. He read the script, and he told me, he's like, "Oh, $5,000, and this is nothing. These animals, I could get a dog to do that in 2 seconds." So he said it was nothing. Even at the end, you know, in the fire scene with Jacob. Yeah, he said it was.
Where the dog gets in there.
Yeah.
Doesn't he? Yeah. See. With the inspirational teacher kind of thing. So that's going to be another element. And then you've got how useful is religion for our lives?
Yes.
Big questions.
Big questions and broad swipes with, like, the Kurt Vonnegut in the classroom with Daniel, and that was something we both in our personal lives look at, and the need for. I'm a very spiritual person. Jeff is a very practical person. And that's where we both kind of came in to mold that question in there, and it wasn't quite answered. You know, it wasn't quite answered. It was kind of personal. And even with Zach and Jacob, Jacob was in the chapel there praying that one time, telling Zach, hey, I don't think he's gonna like me now. I got something. I got a secret, and God's not gonna like me. But it was up to Jacob to find that out. One thing that we did at the end feel that Zach let Kish down. That was his person that he brought in there to help, and he just, because of all the other things with the diocese coming in, that he let him down. And there is a spin-off TV show. I'm sorry, what was that?
Sorry, I think I dropped out, or one of us dropped out there. I felt Kish was psychotic, and it was never going to end well with him. But maybe he could have been helped. Yes, if someone had seen the signs. You're right. And
go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to say Luca's looking very thoughtful there, like you're gestating a question. Is that right?
No, I was thinking about the psychological characters, and also the Kurt Vonnegut, because I am a huge fan of Kurt Vonnegut as well, and he's kind of surreal, sort of like a massive questions, but at the same time, this sort of like almost sci-fi way of like. Throwing them out. I really like that, and I also like this coming of age sort of like theme with a lot of references. Obviously the dog, is part of the childhood psyche, isn't it? I mean, it's like the childhood without a dog is like a deprived childhood, and it's and it does create that bond, I think. So was it a conscious thing to put the German Shepherd as one of the protagonists of the script?
It was definitely. In fact, that was a personal character because when I was a kid, Italian American growing up in New York, I had to go to church every Saturday and every Sunday. And in the 1970s, the priest there, Father Starks, had a German Shepherd that this was based off of. And he was my solace going to church every Sunday and Saturday and spending so much time there. That dog was the friendliest dog, never on a leash. In fact, Jeff and I argued about the leash. We argued about the leash. So, one little stupid thing that we argued about. But he was based on Biff was the dog's name. And Jeff loved the idea of Biff and his consoling factor, and how Biff could actually, or not Biff, I'm sorry, Matthias could actually go through all the different generations. Like Biff was the one he could connect to the kids, and Biff, I keep saying Biff, Matthias could connect to the kids, and Matthias could connect to the military, and Matthias to each part. He was the tying factor that kind of weaved through the entire story. And
yeah, he didn't judge, did he? He would accept everyone who treated him well. That's it. And just can I ask, as we're coming to sort of towards finishing up, any plans to get it made into a film? I mean, how are you going with that?
We hope, and we're just trying to get it to, that the big question is getting it financed and getting it made, and that's the big, we're hoping to find people to get it to that connection.
And I kind of thought it depends on casting. So much depends on casting for me. Yeah. Would you say?
Yes, definitely. And I've always loved Stanley Tucci as Brother Zach. That was like my my go-to. But don't have any connections to him.
Yeah. Well, you've bigged him up now, so maybe he's watching and he'll think, okay, I'll do it.
He's doing a documentary on.
Right. Am I right in saying we have got because we?
I can't hear.
You're breaking up, Sarah, but I guess what she's trying to say is that our time is arrived to wrap this one up. It's been a pleasure to have you with us, Jack, and thank you so much, Luca. It's wonderful to speak about scripts, especially because what I notice in film festivals is that you rarely have the chance to have a spot to actually discuss them and have the person who wrote them known and, you know, recognized for what they have done. So for me, it's a pleasure to have the chance to speak with the writer, and in this case, with one also experienced co-writing, which I was really curious about. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I hope I can answer the question on that. I know.
Absolutely, yes.
Thank you. I got to tell you, this was wonderful to talk to. This is the first time I've talked to anybody who's really paid attention to these characters and these people in this environment that is so real in my life and so a part of my life. And it's just absolutely wonderful. And you brought a huge smile to my face. And thank you so much. This is wonderful.
Thank you.
Oh, lovely.
Thank you,
That's
Jack.
what we like to hear. Thank you, Jack. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.